Hey there, YouTube. It's me again, and it's Halloween time, which is my favorite time of the year. Always. Favorite, favorite, favorite. So I was thinking about what to do for Halloween, and I decided to do a little series for you guys called The Many Faces of Faith Grenade. As most of you know, I am a burlesque performer. Faith Grenade is my stage name, and I decided to change my channel name to Faith Grenade because I want to make more videos about burlesque and really let you guys into my artistic side. So The Many Faces of Faith Grenade, I'm basically going to be showing you guys every single week a look that I've been designing or been using or have used for a burlesque performance. Everywhere from neo burlesque to classic burlesque, which is what I decided to film for you guys first. By the time you see this video, I will be in the United States. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be seeing some family, going to my sister's wedding, so be in there for a visit. If these don't upload properly, you'll know why, because I'm not around to upload them. But I hope to be having a wonderful time in the States by this point. First I decided to do the classic burlesque look. This is very sleepy, sexy, sultry, the kind of burlesque makeup you would see in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. You know, the classic glittery eye and the red lip. Gorgeous. I hope you guys like it, and if you want to learn how to create this cheeky, wonderful, sultry, classic look, then keep on watching and buckle up because it's going to be a long video. Getting ready for a burlesque show is a very long and involved process. I've already sped up the process by priming my eyes with the Urban Decay anti-aging primer potion. If I ever look over here, it's because I have a shoebox filled with makeup. So I'm going to start with the Lorac Pro 2 palette. So good. And I'm going to... what am I going to do first? I'm going to highlight my brow first, which is this shade right there. I'll go ahead and use this little concealer brush to do that. So dipping a little in there, and just gonna put it underneath my brows. I would also normally get my brows waxed before I do this on account of the little baby hairs that I have all over the place, but I'm gonna wait until my sister's wedding to wax my brows. Next step is I'm gonna do some lid coloration. I'm going to go ahead and take beige, just right there, and I'm going to pack it all over my eyelid with this eyeshadow C brush. And you don't have to worry about this being, you know, completely opaque or a perfect application because we're going to put glitter over it. Now I kind of want a little more pigmentation, so I'm going to take my highlighter, the Balm's Merry Luminizer, and I'm going to put that over top because it's really, really pigmented. There we go. Pretty much think anything that you would normally do for a makeup look, just do it to the nth degree because you're going to be on stage. There's going to be, you know, cameras flashing and stage lights, which always wash people out, so you're just gonna have to keep that in mind and, you know, cake on a little more makeup than you normally would. So I'm gonna take my bronzer, Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, the dark one, the medium deep, and I'm gonna use this to define my crease with, of course, a Sonia Kashuk 109. Y'all already know. Just gonna sweep that into the crease. And again, don't worry about putting on too much because you're on stage and you don't want your face to get washed out. That's the main thing. I'm gonna kinda, you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm holding the brush angled downward. I learned this from Crispy on YouTube because the bristles do the blending for you. It's okay to put a lot of makeup on when you're doing burlesque. However, there is such a thing as too much glitter. I'll get to that in a minute. A lot of my burlesque performer friends are like, what the fuck did she just say? Too much glitter? No. You don't really have to get too much fancier than that. I mean, that pretty much, you know, blend out the edges of the crease color, use your brow shade to do that if you have to, but honestly with burlesque it doesn't have to be much fancier than this, because I'm going to throw glitter over it. Surprisingly uncomplicated, isn't it? Not going to do anything to the lower lash line at all, because people in that era really didn't do anything to the lower lash line. So let's go ahead and do eyebrows. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Color Icon, really long brow pencil, and I'm just going to make kind of very light strokes to simulate hairs and rub it as I go. Now the key with burlesque and eyebrows is to follow the natural shape of your eyebrow. Don't try to create an arch where there obviously isn't one. It's going to look really, really obvious that you tried to create an arch, and it's not going to look good. So now I'm going to take this illuminating concealer. This is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi, and this is in the shade Light. And I'm going to put this right under my brows just to carve them out a little more. I actually really hate this for concealing. Like, I know a lot of YouTubers use this under their eyes, and I really don't like it for that. I think it makes my under eye circles look worse, but I like it for highlighting. Blend any harsh edges. And this is just to cover up those little baby hairs, because I don't know about you guys, but I hate tweezing. I never do it. I'd much prefer waxing. So this is just a way to kind of shape my brows in between waxing. Now I'm gonna do some glitter! Now that I've gotten to this step in the process, there is such a thing as too much glitter. I don't know how many times I've seen burlesque performers, they've got glitter all over their eyelids, they've got glitter all over their lips, they have glitter falling out all over their face. It's just, it's too much. And, you know, you use glitter to put emphasis on, you know, extreme emphasis on something. And I think there is such a thing as too much emphasis. So be judicious with your glitter. I'm gonna take this Violet Secret Weapon loose pigment and glitter adhesive from Violet Voss. I absolutely love, love, love this stuff. Like, I use this stuff, it's very safe, it doesn't irritate my eyes, and my glitter stays on all night. Now, I don't want to cake glitter all the way around my eyelid, I just want a subtle sparkle on the lid when I shut my eyes and make them look all sleepy. So I'm just going to take that same little concealer brush and just put adhesive, can you see that? Just put adhesive on the tip, and I'm going to dot it on my eyelid. I'm going to do one eye at a time, and just because it's easier for me to do it that way. The glitter I'm using today is also from Violet Voss. This is Goldie, and I absolutely love, love, love Goldie because it's a pale, white-based light glitter, and it's just perfect for the era of classical burlesque that I do. I use this e.l.f. glitter eyeshadow applicator. It's a silicone tip, so it just makes, like, it picks up the glitter a little bit easier. You see it's got a nice thin layer on there, and I can just pat it onto the eyelid because sometimes glitter adhesive can mess up your makeup brushes, but when you have a silicone tipped applicator like this, it's just easier to clean. This is a lot easier to clean than a makeup brush when it comes to glitter adhesive. We just want the glitter to be a subtle accent to what's already going on. Because classical burlesque costumes, they have like sequins and feathers. You've got a lot going on already. So there you go. You see that? It's kind of opaque, but it's not really. It's a very, very thin layer because if you put too much on, it just looks really, really caked up and gross. Some burlesque performers put glitter on their lips. I know I used to. I don't really do it as much anymore. I don't know why. It just really, like, in photos, it looked really, really weird to me. It just looks like you ate some glittery Cheetos and you still have Cheeto dust on your lips. But it just looked really crusty and it made her lips look really dry. And I'm not about that life. Pat, pat, pat. Pat, pat, pat. It's the magic they're looking for. So give them some magic. Oh, and don't get glitter in your eye either. Shit fucking hurts. Fun fact, there are no cosmetic glitters that are approved by the FDA for use on your eyes, so use at your own risk. Only use cosmetic glitter on your eyes. It's made of a certain kind of material that is safe on skin. If you use, like, I've seen burlesque performers use craft glitter on their eyes and I'm like, oh my god, please don't do that because you're gonna scratch your cornea. I mean, it's serious business. Like, so use just cosmetic glitter. It's still not approved by the FDA, but it's a lot safer than craft glitter. A lot safer, even if it is more expensive. Re-establish that crease just in case any glitter got on it. Darken it up. Focus the darkness spread toward the outside. We want the eyelid to look very almond shaped. So we're almost kind of winging out the eyeshadow. It's been so long since I beat my face for burlesque. I miss it. Glitter is on, looking nice and sparkly. So now we're going to do liner, lashes, mascara. For liner, I opted for brown instead of black, just because black for me a lot of the time is just way too harsh, and for classical burlesque I like to look soft and sultry and sleepy. I'm gonna use this Milani Liquid Eye pencil in 05 Brown. It's just a dark, kind of chocolatey brown shade, and I'm gonna put it really, really close to my lashes. Go a little bit at a time and then open your eye and check it. I can't be the only one this happens to. Like, does anyone else get their right eye perfect and then their left eye looks like shit? It doesn't really matter if you kind of fuck up a little bit because the lashes will usually cover it up. Speaking of lashes, I'm gonna show you my cute little lash case. Look at that thing. So cute. There you go. Those are all my beautiful lashes. I have big, thick, frilly ones with glitter on them. I think I'm gonna use these ones. I got these in Japan. They're nice and winged out on the ends. I'm gonna go ahead and curl and prime my lashes with a little bit of mascara. Lashes are curled. I'm gonna put on one coat of Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara just to prime them and get them ready for the falsies. Now you can probably see I stabbed myself in the eye with the mascara wand, and yeah, that is not cute. Smudged on the bottom. We want our bottom lash line to be fairly clean, so I'm going to take a little makeup wipe and just tidy that up a little bit. Falsie time! Now, I talked you guys through this before. I usually end up putting my falsies on without tweezers, but today I actually have my tweezers, so I can put them on. I hold them in the middle, like that. Although this lasts really well. I use this eyelash glue to put my pasties on, which for those of you who aren't in the know, pasties are nipple covers. I use this eyelash glue to put my pasties on, and I have never popped a pasty. Fun fact. There's with, there's without, so you can see the difference. In my opinion anyway, your lashes shouldn't obstruct the view of your makeup. I've had so many instances where I've seen burlesque performers who their lashes were so freaking big that they completely obstructed the view of their makeup when their eyes were open. And for me, like, I work too damn hard on my makeup just to have it be obstructed by a big fat eyelash. But this is why I love this pair of lashes. They make my eyes look very sleepy, very sultry, kind of half closed, like that Marilyn Monroe kind of look. They give me the winged out effect I'm looking for without me having to do winged liner, because I'm lazy. So that is pretty much the eyes done. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out considering it's been forever since I've done this. There you go. And I mean, you can do touch-ups as you go, but I think I've spent enough time on the eyes, so we're gonna move on to the face. I'm gonna use L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer. This is so amazing. I got this on a recommendation from ShanXO. So good. It's very moisturizing, and it just like, it can give a white cast sometimes, but it makes your skin look so luminous under foundation. And I've already put lip balm on. Lip balm is a really important part of the process. Now I'm gonna put on foundation. Y'all haven't seen me use this foundation in a really long time. I actually hope it hasn't like gone off on me, but it's the MAC Matchmaster foundation, and this one is in 1.5. I hope it's still my shade. And I usually use a stippling brush to put this on. I like this because even though it doesn't last that long, when you're in burlesque you don't need your foundation to last that long. You just need it to last long enough to make life happen. Because it's pretty full coverage, so even though it doesn't last that long, it still looks good. So we're just swirling this in circular motions all over the face. Now, the biggest mistake I see performers make is deciding to do their face at the venue, which, I mean, unless you absolutely have to, you should really wait, or you should really like do your face ahead of time at home before you even come to the venue. Because I mean, you don't know if that venue's gonna have a dressing room. You don't know if that venue's gonna have a mirror. You don't know what you're gonna have access to unless you've performed there before. But especially if you have other folks there who are gonna be doing their face, you're gonna have to like fight over mirrors and jock for space. And I like to have that time to stretch and warm up and make sure I have all my costume stuff together. Get yourself in face before you show up. It'll just save you a lot of time. Because if I'm doing burlesque makeup for a show, it can take me like a solid like 2 hours almost to do my entire face. Welcome back, I'm flawless. Okay, so that's good. I only really put on like a maximum of 2 layers just because this foundation can be quite thick and it can clog my pores sometimes. Now I'm gonna put on some concealer. I'm gonna use this MAC Pro Conceal and Correct palette in light. I'm gonna use the NW20, which is right there. If you don't wanna use this stuff, by the way, don't feel compelled to use MAC. You absolutely 110% don't have to. I know plenty of burlesque performers who use drugstore makeup. Like, hell, I use drugstore makeup for a lot of my gigs. But I'm just going right where the darkness is, on the inside of my eye socket and underneath my eye a little bit, and I'm just lightening that up and blending it out. I love this palette, by the way. I was using it before it was cool. Now it's time to set with some powder. Now, everything in burlesque is just a little bit more intense than it normally would be. I'm gonna use this Coty Airspun powder, yup, the drag queen powder, and I'm gonna use that to set my foundation and my concealer. Now, I'm not gonna cake it on and let it cook the way drag queens do. I don't really need to do that, I'm not that oily. So I'm just gonna take my e.l.f. Kabuki brush, tap the living fuck out of it, and swirl it around in the lid of the container down here, just to knock off any of that excess product and focus it mainly on the areas, just the problem areas that I have. So areas where I tend to get oily or shiny. That's done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some contouring and highlighting and all that good stuff. I'm gonna grab my bronzer, my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. Gonna use this big, fluffy, powder-ass brush. Dip it in there. Knock it the fuck off! And then I'm going to kind of take it just under the cheekbone and make a kind of C shape right here. Now, every act is different. This is just for my purposes in the classical burlesque side of things, but you know, maybe you're doing an act that requires you to look like a tan, you know, California Valley Girl Barbie doll. Hey, go for it. You know, go heavy on the bronzer if you want to. Part of the great part about burlesque is that it has no rules and you can basically do whatever you want. It's just kind of like makeup. And now I'm going to do blush. For the blush, I'm going to use a smaller e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I'm going to use Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. I want to be really glowy and really luminous, and this is just perfect for that. Taking a smidge of it, going right on the cheekbone. And it's just, I'm just putting a little bit of this on because a little bit makes a world of difference. Oh no, my bra fell off, oops. Now for highlight, I'm gonna take my Mary Luminizer, and I'll actually go ahead and take the tip of this same brush because I didn't bring my fan brush down. Normally I use my fan brush, but I'll take the very, very tip of this same brush and just run this highlight over the top of my cheekbone. Your blush, your contour, and your highlights should be roughly around the same part of your face. Like, it shouldn't look like Neapolitan ice cream up in here. Classically with burlesque, you see a bright red lip, of course. The classic pin-up red lip. And I'm certainly not going to deviate from that for this classical burlesque look. I'm going to go ahead and use the Mrs. Mia Wallace Urban Decay Glide On Lip Pencil to line my lips. I'm not going to overline because I have really full lips as it is, and for me, like, overlining, if you don't do it very subtly, it looks really fake. So I just go ahead, I can't really talk while I'm doing this, so I have a mustache. And I'm actually going to use the pencil to fill in my lips because as you're kind of eating and drinking throughout the evening, musing, schmoozing with people, this way your lipstick will stay nice and right and tight. Lip line is drawn. I'm going to go ahead and put on lipstick now. This is the Urban Decay Revolution lipstick in Mrs. Mia Wallace. It's one of my favorite reds right now. This and the F-Bomb shade in the Revolution lipstick line are two perfect burlesque reds. Although these are very expensive. They're like $23 a piece, which is way more than I normally pay for lipstick. So if you want something a little bit cheaper, Wet n Wild Stoplight Red works amazing. So does Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in Fire and Ice. That's been around since the 50s, so you know it's gonna work. You can use a lip brush if you feel more comfortable with that, if you want more control, but I'm usually in a hurry when I'm getting ready for a show, so I put it on straight from the bullet because I live life on the edge. That's another thing I see a lot in the burlesque world is people who don't adjust their lips and they like their lipstick bleeds or it just, you know, smudges all over the place and they don't fix it and it looks all feathery and stuff. I'm just like, I wanna fix your mouth. And there you go. There you have it, folks. This is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's really long, I know. This is how it looks. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm glad I still got it. Very classic, very chic, very beautiful, and it's gonna look great on stage. So, now it's your turn, YouTube. I want you guys to try this look. If you do, go ahead and post a picture on Instagram and tag me at Faith Grenade. I'd love to see it. And leave those comments, leave that love, and I will see you all in the next Halloween video. Bye!